Last orders at the bar.
A night in with Mauler and the drinker, getting trashed with the web stream dinkers. A cheap night cause I'm feeling kinda thrifty, got a 10-pack of beers and a bottle of whiskey. Pop up the cork, have a glass of wine, I'll feel safe, I'll be fine. Trouble walking in a straight line, but pour me a Pinot Noir. It's open bar with our hosts, Mauler and the critical drinker.
Hey, hello, you guys.
Hello.
Or you guy. There might just be one person who's watching this, and that's all we get in terms of viewership.
What a legend. What a legend.
You, whoever you are, welcome here, and hopefully we can keep you entertained for a little while we go through our super chats that were left over from Open Bar 122. There are quite a few, so we'll do our best to answer them. Mo, are you feeling ready for this?
Sure, man.
Alrighty then. Okay, I'm ready. My soul is ready. My body's ready. Let's do it. So the first one was from the Hidden Duck, who says, "Does anyone here watch Dune Prophecy? I gave it a go, and it's so damn boring. The moment something promising happens, you already know that an hour of nothing is going to follow it." Yeah, Chris Gore really put me off that show, man. I don't know about you. It's a shame.
I mean, I'll watch it the second someone says it's all right. Like, I've already heard that it's boring, so I'm just like, I'll give it a bit.
Yeah, there's just better things to watch, I suppose. Like, if it was so hilariously bad that I could have fun with it, then okay. But if it's just boring and nondescript, yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. Coggin says, have a Merry Christmas, you filthy animals, and a Happy New Year. And the same to you, sir. BTEX says, watch Black Sails. Okay, I will one day. Kashakus says, I went to Gladiator 2 over the weekend and walked out after the monkey fight. Less than 30 minutes in, Ridley Scott should just retire at this point. I agree. Marksman of 117B says, can drinker nail 100 women in one day? Do it, you coward. I mean, there comes a point where biology starts to get in the way a little bit. Like, I guess a woman can get nailed by a theoretically unlimited number of men in a given period, but guys can only do so much. I mean, I'm up for the challenge, of course. I don't think I'll manage 100, though. There's only so much I can do.
I'll cheer you on. It's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't watch me. I can't go when you're watching. Minor Zircon says, hey, we had Joe Biden for 4 years as U.S. president. Okay. 925 Moto says, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Not traditional, but John McClane being in Nakatomi Plaza was a Christmas miracle. It was. And I think it's a heartwarming story of a man reuniting with his wife and family togetherness at the most festive time of the year. I'm fine with it being a Christmas movie. Normal Man says, if you consider Die Hard a Christmas movie, would you consider Iron Man 3 a Christmas movie as well? Why not? I don't get the vibe.
At this point, we need to have a big discussion on what makes a Christmas movie. Apparently, yes. We'll have it someday. A big meeting.
I think we can do it. We can do that. Rick O'Neill says, actually getting together with friends tonight to watch the Christmas classic Die Hard. Good on you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Normal Man, though, says, you know who agrees that Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie? Bruce Willis. Look it up. Well,
that's okay. You can. I've disagreed with Bruce Willis before.
Bruce Willis is very, very old now. And the thing is, as well, he didn't make the movie. He was in it, but he didn't write it, and he didn't direct it, and he didn't produce it. So I don't think it's his place to say. Brian Woods says, here's just a little tip for mentioning the Mysterious Cities of Gold a while back. It was my favorite show as an 80s kid. Thrilled that someone else remembers it. I love that show. You'll not even have heard of Mysterious Cities of Gold, I would imagine.
I've heard of all of the words individually.
No, that's good. That's a good start.
Yeah,
yeah, man. It was just, I have such vivid memories of watching that as a little kid. Probably like primary school age. So like at the beginning of primary school. So I'm talking like early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, it was good stuff. There was another one called Pirates of Darkwater as well that I loved. That was like a 90s cartoon. That was fucking brilliant. proper like fan. It's like Lord of the Rings meets Pirates of the Caribbean. That's the best way I could describe it, and it was great. Anyway, Cuban says, thank you, Muller, for the super chat catch up yesterday. I waited so long for my reference to see if Rags would laugh. Any bet on a new RE trailer tonight? That would be the Video Game Awards. Resident Evil, I would imagine.
Oh, for Resident Evil 9, I guess?
Yeah, I don't think they made any announcements, as far as I know.
Well, there we are,
the attention was all on Witcher 4 and the new Naughty Dog game, which I can't remember what it's called. Is it Interstellar or something?
Intergalactic Heretic Prophet. It's an
Intergender.
Yeah. When I saw it, I was like, why did you just call it Heretic? Wouldn't Heretic be way better?
Yeah, it's probably been copyrighted already. What was the Rags laughing super chat thing all about?
Well, we recorded a lot of super chats. I'm not even sure exactly which one, but I'm glad if it got the laugh you were looking for.
Okay.
The thing is, I do super chats 3 times a week.
Yeah, I can imagine you get lost with them a little bit. Bane Zero says, Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie, it's a Harry Potter movie. He sneaks around a tower at night avoiding Alan Rickman. The parallels are there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Drake Timbershaft says, Thor, Heathen Chunder. That's what we all did when we were watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Snex says, not only are Die Hard 1 and 2 definitely Christmas movies, but so is First Blood. I mean, I don't quite get the Christmas family-oriented vibes with First Bloods. It's not like he reunites with his family and you know, has a nice cuddle with his wife around a log fire or anything. Yeah, I don't get that vibe from First Blood. The Hidden Duck says, you forgot Morbius. I think that was our list of Sony movies that didn't quite hit the mark. Morbius was special. Just in case you were wondering, by the way, Muller, Kraven the Hunter, I'd probably put on the same sort of level as Morbius.
Oh, so like, because I never saw Morbius, because it's
not
as memeable as Man Where, would you say?
It's not as memeable, no. It's just boring for the most part. But it's the writing is the sort of same level of quality. It's not as funny. You know, unintentionally funny, but yeah, it's just
Oh, meanwhile, I saw The Wild Robot, because it took me a while to catch up to that one. What a pleasant film.
It is very nice. It's a nice film. I would argue perhaps played it a little bit safe with the ending. I felt like a certain character probably should have sacrificed themselves and died, you know, mission accomplished and all that. But
you know the crazy thing? If the film had ended on the first proper flight, I actually think it would have been kind of better.
Yeah.
It would only be an hour long, which is fine with me because, you know, whatever, story is a story. But that felt like such an appropriate ending. And then the film kept going, which is okay. There's plenty of things I still liked in it, but it got a little weaker, I think, in the latter portion. A lot of stuff started getting a bit wacky, but still some really, you know, wholesome payoffs. And I like what it says about parenthood and stuff. And you know, I can't resist a good robot has feelings movie.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, I think it handles it pretty well. And as you say, the central story is like no matter how well prepared you might think you are, nothing's really going to prepare you for being a parent and all the highs and lows that come with it and the challenges. And it's good stuff. So yeah, nice to see something like that.
I think it was summarized best by the other robot saying, you are equipped with like the entire history of human knowledge, understanding, and reason. What problem could you possibly have difficulty with? Just say, I have a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fun. And Pedro Pascal doing a little you know, animated character voice, separating himself a bit from his regular.
The thing is, I guess he's got a fairly versatile voice, and that's okay. Like, I guess someone like Mark Ruffalo, I would know that voice in an instant, and it's not the most interesting of voices. Whereas, yeah, Pedro Pascal, he was fine. Did a good job in this.
Matt Berry, for example, the second he talked, I was like, oh, that's him.
Yeah, of course. You know Matt Berry the moment you hear him.
But like, you hire him for that voice, you wouldn't want him to do something else. It's like a hilarious voice. Same for Bill Nye. I recognized him the second he started talking. But Pedro Pascal took me a bit. I was like, is that him? And it's like, yep, that is him.
Yeah.
which I think is good because he plays it very it's the thing that we were talking about with a character called Smeech in Arcane Season 2. There's a clear effort going into animating the voice to match the presence of the character, which I appreciate about any actor doing.
Yes.
I also saw Jura 2, by the way.
What do you think?
It is fine. It is exactly what, if you watch the trailer, you get in that movie, and there's not going to be a lot that shocks you about it. It's
Okay.
fine.
It's fine. Well, I mean, fine is quite quite spectacular these days, so I'll take it. I might give it a watch. Yeah, I need to watch War of the Rohirrim. I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. But yeah, Craven the Hunter was not something I would recommend to you. So I think you got the better deal there. But I did enjoy the Wild Robot, so that's something. I should probably get around to reviewing that as well. Gorillas in the Midst says, have you seen or played Indiana Jones and the Great Circle? I think it's been the best portrayal of this character and story in years. I've heard that it's quite good. A bit of a mixed bag. Like some people saying the combat's really uninspiring and the gameplay is a bit flat, but for the most part, people seem to be fairly positive about it. I don't know about you.
I wasn't. Me and Az tried to talk about it, but it became like almost dull to talk about it because the game itself is incredibly dull. Mechanically and storytelling, like the story's not going to grip you compared to the original trilogy, but it isn't like cruel or malicious like we've seen with other stuff. I found the lady companion was annoying at best. The writing in it is not very strong. It's just generally speaking boring, and then the mechanics are not very well done, and it's easy to exploit. I was on the hardest difficulty and I was just messing around and making a fool of all of the AI because they can't get past like chairs and stuff. It's and I had no interest in really continuing it, and neither did the chat after, I think it was 10 hours I gave it, and I was like, all right, that's nice, but I'm out.
You can definitely feel the tempo of the chat like alter as they get less interested in a game. So yeah, I've experienced it before for sure.
You got the Troy Baker impression, which is probably the best we got on Earth in terms of getting to Indiana Jones without having the man himself. But it wasn't a lively performance. It didn't keep me gripped, and the writing for him was just meh. All of it was super pragmatic, like we have clue here and it takes us to this. Let's go there. All right, let's do it. That sort of, it's just like, okay.
Okay.
And Az felt, I think, pretty similar, and I think it's getting rave reviews because of Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny being the last two attempts. This is a welcome relief, I suppose.
Yeah, it's all relative, I guess.
Yeah.
David Gannon giving us a new perspective here, saying Die Hard is set on Christmas Eve at a Christmas party. There are Christmas motifs and music throughout, and at the film's core, it's a story of a man trying to reconcile with his wife so that he can spend Christmas with his family. It is a Christmas movie. You are correct on all counts, sir. Day Tripper says Batman Returns and the Addams Family are also Christmas movies. What's your thoughts? Batman Returns isn't really Christmassy.
Well, there's lots of snow in it. It's probably the angle that they're going for.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't. Again, I'm gonna need to start figuring out what, because to me, my main argument in favor of Die Hard and other Christmas movies is usually the thematic content, rather than it being set at Christmas is actually secondary to me compared to having a Christmas vibe. But I would still say somewhat necessary, obviously. Like, it's just complicated because like if a film has a montage and one of the days is Christmas, it's like that doesn't really count, does it?
No, I think the best way I would go about this is like sum up all the things that you associate with Christmas, not like presents and stuff, but more like emotions, the feeling, the tone, the vibe, as you put it. What is Christmas to you in terms of the themes and ideas and emotions, and then see if you can apply that to a movie. I think that's probably the best way I can think to be fair about it. Yeah. And yeah, like probably there's probably a video to be made there about like how does one define what a Christmas movie is. I need a science guy to help me out with this. Susie Oishi says, when I lose 100 more pounds, I will critically drink with you during open bar. Sigh. Well, I mean, best of luck to you, man. You've picked the wrong time of year to try to lose weight. This is a tough one at Christmas, but yeah, I wish you the best of luck on your weight loss journey, man. I'm sure you'll get there. Raven says, I'm making a video rebutting Birdman's stupidity. One of the points in his video was that you change titles of your videos when you're wrong or when people don't agree with you. For example, your House of the Dragon video. Would you care to explain to the dumbasses why you did that? I obviously don't believe you changed it because you were scared or you regretted it. Yeah, this is a weird one. Like any YouTuber, I suppose I change the titles of my videos sometimes because I don't know about you, Mauler, and I don't know how other people do it, but like I make the review, like I write the script, edit it, record all the audio, put all the video in, and then upload it. And literally while it's uploading, I'll try and think of a title for it. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like the last stage in the process for me. And quite often, my titles are a bit shit, or like they don't quite encapsulate what I'm trying to say about the movie or whatever. Or in one case, like with Prey, I think when it was basically a reaction to the trailer and making some predictions about the movie, people were literally getting confused about it and thought that it was my review of the finished film, even though it was made like 3 or 4 months before the film actually came out. And so in a case like that, for example, I had to change it just to avoid the complete misunderstanding of what I was doing. It was like, yeah, this title is not informing people of what I'm trying to do here. And in some other cases, it's just, yeah, I've come up with a better idea for a title here that better describes my feelings for this film.
Yeah, I usually try and keep some kind of thing about what the title might be, but most of my titles are actually concluded very close to release because I really just wrestle with it all the time. I never know exactly what I kind of want to give off as a tone or description, but yeah, I don't know. It's I remember because you do trailer assessments and then film assessments, so you can easily get them mixed up. Or rather, someone could get them mixed up by looking at your videos without looking at the dates. So,
yeah, and I guess I never realized like how like hyper focused people can be on the things that I do. Where like for me, it was just a simple admin task of like, oh, that title is not quite right, or I'll go and alter that, or yeah, people are misunderstanding what I'm doing with this old video. I better change it to something that's a bit more descriptive. And then, yeah, like people are concocting all these wild theories, like, oh my god, he's getting scared of criticism and pushback. He has to change it. Like, it's weird.
totally.
Yeah.
So it must count for an immense amount to your character that you haven't switched 99.9% of your videos and titles. Then that's gotta be crazy.
I would say so, yeah, because like I'm more than happy to take criticism for a video that I say I might watch a movie and I fucking hate it, but then the majority of my viewers loved it. And they're like, yeah, you're fucking wrong on that one. You're an idiot or whatever. Like, okay, fine. Well, that was my opinion. I stick by it. If it's literally just, this title kind of might seem a bit misleading and I don't think it sums up my thoughts very well, I should change it to something better. That's a different thing for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm more than happy to take criticism for the things I did do, but yeah, it's a bit unfair to take it for things I didn't, Dark Takanuva says, congrats to Kronk for finally making it on open bar. Watched EFAP's The Thing review recently. The prequel did have practical effects, but they were replaced due to execs thinking that they looked too 80s. I've heard about that.
Oh, we know.
That's a fucking travesty.
Yeah,
I can't believe they thought that was a good idea.
I mean, the fact is, however bad the physical ones ended up looking, it would have been much more of a point of praise for the film instead of taking all. Imagine how much extra work it is to remove them all and then add in all of the CG versions. Ugh.
Yeah.
Gross.
Sad. Normal Man says, if Dial of Destiny had Indy living a happy life with Marion, that would have been fine. The problem is how depressing Mangold made his life and what's her face was in it. Yes. Exactly. It's this whole thing of like, let's just completely undo the events of the previous movie and just press the reset button on this character just so we can give him the same character arc again. It's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor says regarding last week, Arch doesn't only cover 40k, he covers all kinds of media on the Archcast. Rings of Power, Ahsoka, The Acolyte, Masters of the Air, Gladiator 2, etc. He would be a great guest to have on. Well, yeah, sure. I mean, if Arch Warhammer is willing to come on here, I'd bring him on for open bar. Could be interesting. Blake K says, Longman, did you see that Victor is officially dead and he is now Vincent in Law RIP to the Machine Herald?
I was lucky enough to be playing the game myself, draw Victor, and see that he was no longer Victor. He was instead Arcane Season 2 Victor, which is not cool, but whatever. That's just the future of everything, isn't it? You don't get to keep anything you love within media.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Nope.
Zeddy Boy says, just saw Craven, easily the best SCU movie, 4 out of 10. Yeah, I think you're being generous. Johnson with a T says, Drinker, in your latest vid, you mentioned World War Z, and I wanted to ask what you thought of it. Would you agree with the idea that it's the most realistic depiction of a zombie outbreak? I think I answered this on the night, actually. I feel like I went into a big spiel about my thoughts on the book and the movie. So yeah, I might refer you back to that one. But my overall take is the movie has some individually really cool action sequences, but the story is paper thin, and the book's a lot more interesting, with loads of different perspectives and some neat ideas and scenarios. So that would be my recommendation. Read the book. Gordon Cadell says, hope you're liking the Warhammer news from Cavill. I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic. Let's see what happens. But I mean, if he's on board, I'd have to assume that he's got a good amount of creative control.
I suppose better news than not that, you know? Like it's a reason to be like, oh, okay. Let's hope.
Were we talking about that series as well, Lost Levels? And there's one for Warhammer 40k. On it.
Yes,
it's
I hear that one is one of the better ones. I saw apparently one of the worst ones being Pac-Man.
Pac-Man, yeah, I avoided that one. Yeah, the Warhammer 40k one is really good. I like that. Normal Man says everyone in Hollywood has been to the Principal Skinner school of not admitting that you're wrong. Yes, exactly. It's the children who are wrong. Don Mac says First Blood happens during Christmas time and stars Rambo, so it's not just a Christmas movie, it's an American Christmas movie. I mean, it's a pretty depressing Christmas movie when you actually look at it. I think it's really interesting as well that the original ending had Rambo getting killed. He would be executed by Troutman. And I just think, wow, imagine if they'd gone with that ending. Like, we never would have got the whole Rambo franchise. That's a franchise that basically defined the 80s action movies, and it never would have existed.
Oh, they could have had prequels or a twin. It would have been fine.
I guess. Or like he wakes up from a coma, and it's like, oh yeah, the gunshot wound to the head just like injured you for a while. You're fine. I think they did that with Crank too, where they were just like, he's dead, but then he got better. Okay. Miss Cheese says, I love anime and Lord of the Rings. This should have been a slam dunk. I don't mind Wolf and Hera being childhood friends, but the movie was poorly done. I'm getting that impression. Master of Puppets. Do you think if Warner Brothers made a faithful, lore-accurate Lord of the Rings series based off the trilogy, it would be a success, or has Rings of Power poisoned the well? No, I think it would be successful. I think Rings of Power is very much seen by the fan base as like a separate thing by a separate company that's just fan fiction. So I think you could definitely make a success out of it.
Yeah.
Rated M. Have you all seen Daisy Ridley's The Cleaner, Die Hard ripoff?
Have you seen the trailer for that?
Nope. Don't give a shit.
I just saw it and I was just like, is it seriously like just Die Hard but with a girl? Okay.
Why are they trying to make Daisy Ridley an action star?
Don't know, but the trailer will convince you that she is absolutely not supposed to be an action star. You know what? Best of luck.
Good luck, Daisy. James Moore. World War Z would work better as a TV miniseries, but they couldn't make it today because it's political. Still a solid book that everyone should read. I didn't get the impression it was that political. It was, it was definitely against Big Pharma, and I think it was quite critical of China because I think, from what I recall, that's where the virus began, or that was the first recorded case of it was China, and they concealed it for a long time, and that's why it was able to spread so so globally before people really started to take action against it. Gorillas in the Midst says, Jim in 28 days later stops outside the hospital to drink a can of Pepsi. Imagine if they'd run out of money on that. Jibber Jamber says, instead of hunting rhinos, would he milk them? I hope so. I'd like to see him try.
Yeah.
Johnson with a T. Yes, the book is what I meant. That movie was crap in comparison. Also, highly recommend the audiobook. All-star voice cast perform each character's perspective, including your buddy Mark Hamill. Oh, look at him go, doing stuff.
Look at him go.
Cannon Folderall. No one was craving another Sony Spider-Verse flick. Yep. Lord Moop says Danny Trejo is craven. Sure, cast him. Captain Wrecked. Can you see action unlike Black Panther's opening? Oh, right. So, yeah, you're asking, can you see the actual fight scenes in Craven? Yes. Mostly it takes place in daytime. It's just really shit, and the CGI is fucking terrible. You can tell they did not spend much money on this film. Acanthus says, John Ringo's Black Tide Rising is an excellent zombie book. All right. Thanks for that. Emperor Kane. War of the Rohirrim isn't woke, according to Midnight's Edge. He said that Hera is as much of a girl boss as Eowyn in the Jackson films and doesn't diminish the role of Helm Hammerhand. Well, that sounds promising, at least. I mean, I'll reserve judgment, I suppose, till I've watched it. Texas Sam says, when it comes to Die Hard, it's Christmas year-round in my house. Nice. It's always a good time for Die Hard. Captain Wrecked. I have to ask, have you seen or reacted to the Terrifier series? Just 80s slasher fun. Highly recommend. Practical effects too. No, I haven't seen it. Like, people have asked me about this before, especially when I was playing Silent Hill. It's just not my kind of horror movie. Just that kind of splatter, porn, gore, like just over the top torture and stuff is not really my thing.
Broadly, what I see, because Metal's seen them and he's done his streams on all of them, I think it just comes across to me as when people talk about it, it's kind of gimmicky. Like, we're having fun with some nonsense, and he's a silly new serial killer, but he's got a different kind of edge to him. And I don't hear anybody talking about the story. You know, it's all about this is a goofster nonsense horror, almost comedy thing. So I was just like, okay, I'm not feeling like I'm missing out, so it's fine.
Christopher Patchett. My favorite thing about World War Z was that Doctor Who was playing a Who Doctor. That's pretty good. Acanthus. John Ringo's Black Tide Rising series is my favorite zombie books. Smart characters using extreme violence to survive and retake the world. Good. I like to see smart characters in stories. Luke Harmon says, have you guys seen the 90s classic Warriors of Virtue? I could picture Molly being a fan of the villain in that movie. He's hilariously unhinged.
I haven't seen it.
Watt says, Lethal Weapon always gets me in the Christmas mood. Well, if it works for you, then who am I to argue? Nick Brown says, Hera, the bane of elephants and Lord Commander of men. Sure, okay. Ruby, my brother and I argue about Die Hard every year. We agree that it's a Christmas movie, but he thinks a contrivance for John to have his shoes off so he can run through glass later. I think it's cause and effect. I think it's pretty good cause and effect. He's told by the guy on the plane, take your shoes off, make fists with your toes. He tries it, gets interrupted, goes on the run, tries to get a pair of shoes from the guy that he kills. They don't fit him, so he's stuck. It's fine. That's cause and effect.
Yeah, I unless, of course, because you highlighted that you felt like you'd never heard the notion of doing that before, and that would be considered the contrivance, that no guy would ever say to another guy, take your shoes and socks off and, make fists with your feet. But because it's a strange piece of advice, but I mean, I don't know. It's just like people give all kinds of. It's like the equivalent of wives' tales, like people just giving advice that they think works and it's worked for them. It's fine with me.
It's the kind of thing, like, we've all had it, like some drunk guy in a pub or something, like, tells you like the remedy to all of life's problems or whatever, and it's something you've never heard before, but it's just unique to that guy. You run into like random scenarios like that all the time. And so, yeah, I can totally buy, like, entirely plausible if you just get talking to someone on a flight. Like they might give you this weird piece of advice, like, "Oh, okay, I'll try it." It's probably so off the wall that it's got to have something in it, and that's why he gives it a go. Let's see. Mega Spidey Man says, favorite Gene Wilder movies and why those? Whoa. I mean, I guess Willy Wonka's, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is a pretty obvious one.
An obvious one, yeah. See no evil, hear no evil, right?
Yeah. Blazing Saddles?
Yeah. He's been in shit tons of stuff. It was Young Frankenstein as well, right?
Let's see what else he's done here. Let's see. Yeah. See no evil, hear no evil. Yeah, I think those ones that I've named already would probably be my top picks, I guess. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Been in a shitload, but yeah, I know they're pretty mainstream, but like that's what I know him from. Emperor Kane says Andre from Midnight's Edge said he liked it and that Hera isn't a girl boss, and that she is about as much of a girl boss as Eowyn was in the Jackson films. Yeah, we're getting that from a few people. Morally Dubious Frog says the Battle of Yonkers from World War Z book is arguably one of the dumbest depictions of modern militaries in all of fiction. Yes, I've got a big problem with that one. So for context, like that was the point where the military like took their stand and tried to stop the zombies like pouring out of New York. So basically a few million of them in a giant sort of horde. And that's where the military decided they would try and stop them. And they were using conventional tactics. So like artillery, small arms fire, mortars, that sort of thing. But it's all designed to like, fight conventional armies rather than zombies that can't be panicked or demoralized or anything. And so they get overrun. And it's like one of the biggest crushing defeats in the war. But as I think I said on the night, it was a bit unbelievable. Like, I feel like even if you're not like used to fighting against walking corpses with just sheer, volume of fire, you're probably going to be able to stop them anyway, just by annihilating them. Like if you've got aircraft with napalm and tanks and God knows what else that the military has at their disposal, you're probably going to be able to stop almost anything realistically.
Yeah.
So that was pretty contrived, I must admit. Jesus de Villa gave us a thumbs up, so thank you. David Gannon says War of the Rohirrim, shite. Craven, shite. Instead, go see Red 1 before it leaves theaters. Super fun with awesome action, hilarious comedy, and good morals. And it's not woke. Nerdrotic liked it. I mean, good. Like when I see The Rock in something now, I just feel like I'm in for a snooze fest.
I feel like I've seen Red 1 already. I'm all right.
Yeah, every Rock movie ever. Combe Doyle. Remember the article that said Tolkien ignored her as if he copied his work from a source material and deliberately left Hera out? Yeah, it's amazing. It's like there was nothing to ignore. She didn't exist. Normal man. I'm tired of media with main characters that aren't and shouldn't be the main character. Well, I mean, I think you can usually pick the demographics of the ones that will get elevated to that position, even if they shouldn't be. TWF. Yo Drinker, you watched the Cowboy Bebop anime a while ago. Any thoughts from you and the panel who have seen it? So I didn't finish it, but I liked what I saw. Thought the character was really quirky and likable. The aesthetics were really cool. The setup gave me slight like Firefly vibes, where they basically got a ship they have to keep flying by, doing jobs and buying fuel and stuff. It's all good stuff. It's fun. I just haven't had a chance to finish it yet. Crew Kid says, I saw the Interstellar release in IMAX last night and was reminded why it's one of my favorite films ever. How did something that truthful make it past the Guardian's editorial board? Okay, so they're two separate questions. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like maybe there's some crazy mavericks within the Guardian that actually tell the truth when it comes to reviewing things. Who knows? Maybe it's the whole broken clock thing. Every so often they'll get it right. And yeah, if you enjoyed Interstellar, good on you. Glad you did.
Yeah, of course.
Spartan Bots. This is not anime. It's a Western studio that hired an anime director and put him over a Western animation studio. Anime is so much more than just style of animation. I agree. Jay Fraser. Hail, gents. Not only is Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers 5% retarded, he's a raging homosexual man from Alabama. Also, Die Hard is a great Christmas film. I mean, he's just spitting facts right there, isn't he? What can we say more?
Oh, yes.
There's no rebutting that. Social Morlock. Season's greetings to all. Movie recommendation for everyone is Flow, a Latvian animated film. Fantastic storytelling. My favorite film of the year. Latvian. That's not a film industry we hear much about.
No.
Spectre,
Interesting.
yeah, Spectre von Baron. Maybe not your thing, but you might also enjoy the anime Darker Than Black. I think you'd enjoy the more grounded superpower fights, and there's a lot of analysis of the human condition in it. Oh, you think so highly of me, sir. Thank you. Sean Haruki. Another anime to recommend is Black Lagoon. Top tier dub. 80s, 90s gun actions, hot chicks, perfect. Well, you're saying a lot of words that I like there, so thank you. Immortal Remus. New Line Cinema should have just done a remake of The Hobbit as one film as it should have been, and that's good to retain those rights. That'd be interesting, actually. Yeah. Daniel says Netflix Senna miniseries. Is it me, or their Prost looks more like Prost than the actual Alan Prost? I don't know. I haven't seen Senna yet. I do want to because it does look really good. Morpheus says, Drinker, if you like bebop, then I highly recommend Samurai Champloo. Same director, but set in feudal Japan with a really stylish presentation. Cheers. Thank you. Cool. Chatterbox. Drinker, have you seen the AI reviews of your film? No. I haven't seen even like actual reviews of my film by humans. So, yeah. Headcanon says, just FYI, Blake 7 just released on Blu-ray with updated VFX. Good time to check out a piece of sci-fi history. If you recognize a trope in it, it's probably the source of it. Yeah, Blake 7 was pretty influential as far as I understand back in the day, and it ended on a really like controversial note as far as I understand. Like they basically all got killed. So yeah, brutal stuff. Combe Doyle says, don't forget Karen Ross is in the movie Congo, not a girl boss, but someone who is a convincing female action hero. All right. I won't forget her. David Gannon says, running into Burke made no sense in the timeline of the facehugger to chestburster cycle, and it breaks the pace. Cameron cites the first reason more. I can go by that. Yeah, it's probably speeding things up a little bit. Mo Zamboni says, my former boss designed the sentry guns in Aliens, and he still lives in England. Fox waited 7 years to release it. He never got paid for it. Hollywood. That is shit terrible. If that's the case. Yeah, the sentry guns were fucking cool. I love them. Love that scene. Yeah, and he designed them. That is cool. Evan says, off to rewatch Blue-Eyed Samurai as a cure for Arcane Season 2. Well, I recommend. And Moller, if you haven't seen it, I recommend it to you as well.
Seen what? Sorry, I missed that.
Blue-Eye Samurai.
Ah, yes.
I gave it a Drinker Recommends.
It's on a big old chunky list.
Yeah. Stitch says, I mentioned during the Real BBC that when I heard Boots, it took me back to my Navy school experience from 30 plus years ago. Many of your listeners enjoyed that experience in their prison cells. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. That's pretty brutal. Chicken Pork Adobo says, 28 Days Later is the scariest movie for me. I watched it alone in a theater, and I didn't know that it's a horror movie, and I was 16. It was just fucking scary. It was, and it was, it had a really emotional dimension to it as well that I think actually heightened the scares because you were super invested in these characters by the end, and watching bad things happen to them was pretty tough. So yeah, I liked it. It actually felt scarily plausible in a lot of ways. So yeah, it's good movie. OMG Puppies says the OG post-apocalypse movie was Day of the Triffids. Wyndham's book is a masterpiece. Monsters, people trying to rebuild, raiders, despots, all the good ideas that were in The Walking Dead. Yeah, Day of the Triffids. I love the idea of walking plants. That's great. Sadil Mars says, I don't care how good 28 years later looks. It's another sequel and another zombie movie. Please, someone put an original idea out. I mean, I agree in principle, but at the same time, if they have an idea that they want to use to round out this story and finish it, then I would be okay with them doing that.
I mean, let's not forget some of our favorite films and best films of all time are sequels. They are. It just depends on how you do it. We are obviously in an era where most, if not all, sequels are absolute garbage cash grabs. However, there looks to be a creative intent based on the trailer. We could be wrong, but we have to go by what information we have, and I want to see it. I think this looks like it could be something, and I hope it is. And there is potential with the world of the 28, whatever you want to call it, the 28 universe.
I mean, Danny Boyle straight up said, like, I won't do another one until I have an idea that I want to pursue. And he waited 2 decades for it. So presumably it's something good. Accident Seller says, don't forget 28 days prequels in production, 28 minutes later, 28 seconds later, etc. Yeah, there's no limits. No Dice says, Chainsaw Man is based. You should watch. Is it, Muller? Is it based?
I have not seen it. I hear good things.
Ryan Randall hated that scene in 28 Weeks Later with the woman getting brutally murdered, yet was completely fine with 28 Days Later with Killian's character killing that rapist soldier. I mean, yeah, it was fine. Like, he kind of deserved it. And he was at least able to fight back. That was something very different. Albert Nada Retro. Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie because Christmas isn't central to the plot, just like Home Alone, either of which could have happened at Thanksgiving. I dispute that. As we said before, like it's down to more than just whether Christmas and the act of going to Christmas Day is central to the plot. It's much more the vibe and the overall feel of the movie. So we disagree, sir. Tony Tip says, Guten Abend, drinker. Rumor says that Scottish people can't say purple burglar alarm. You've tried to trip me up with that so many times, and yet I always pass the test.
Yeah, they always try to get you.
Yeah. Must be because I'm not actually Scottish. The Book of Grudges says, Mola calling it to Metal's Forge to explain why he wanted a child to die is still one of my favorite moments of 2022.
Yeah, I still remember it's Avatar 2. It really pissed me off that the villain didn't have the balls to follow through with his threat that he would kill the kids. Really undermined him. And then the fact that the hero characters threatened to kill his proverbial surrogate kid completely threw me off. And I don't like that movie at all, but that was particularly annoying. And so I think I can't remember. I think I might have been taking a walk or I was going somewhere. I needed to do something. And I was listening to Metal's Forge and I was like, I wish to call in and complain about children not dying.
Seems like the right thing to do. I mean, yeah, like, do you think they're setting Quaritch up for a redemption arc in the next movie? Or are they just not that smart?
Quaritch was kind of my favorite thing in the first one. Second one, they've got immense potential, and I feel like they didn't do a very good job. And now whatever they end up doing with anything just feels kind of empty to me. Like that film throws you off completely when the humans can't win for shit against a fight with these people, even though their landing gear is more threatening than their weaponry.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on, James.
It's always just like the villains failing to make use of their very obvious advantages just because the plot needs it to happen that way. It's so shit. Jay Fraser says, Lockdown Day 0. I walked past my local church with a giant warning signpost which causes the 28 Days Later theme to play in my head. I ran home quick. Yeah. The end is extremely fucking nigh. Headcanon. There was an Aliens comic series that came out after Aliens, but before Alien 3. The main characters were Hicks and a teenage Newt. Oh, what could have been? Mr. Tickletrunk. Henry Cavill owns the rights and approached Amazon. He doesn't own the rights to Warhammer, surely. That can't be right.
Maybe they're talking about like a particular right to produce adaptation in the form of a particular format. I don't know.
Yeah, like maybe first right of refusal as producer on a show. I don't know.
Like that,
He also says, I'd imagine Cavill at least has creative control. We can only hope. Imperial Fist San says, love 40k, great lore and world, and a lot of it, but don't trust Amazon and Games Workshop. They're adding woke stuff to the world and trying to ruin it. Fem stories are just a continuation of a long-term plan. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with you too much on that one. I can see the changes starting to creep in, and it's not going to stop. Shaker Silver says, his best one-liner, this is Arnie, is from Jingle All the Way. You started it. Okay.
Put that cookie down now.
Yeah. Isn't there a bit where he punches a reindeer where it's like charging
Yes.
at him and he just looks at it and goes, you picked the wrong day, fella.
It's a brilliant film.
It is. It's pretty good. You remember the bit where what's the bad guy called again? The postman dude.
Oh, fuck. Why do I remember his
Is
name?
it
Well, he's
Lloyd
played
or
by Sinbad, right?
Yeah.
What is his name? Myron.
Myron, yeah. I just love the bit where he's like running away from Turbo Man, and there's a dude dressed as like a Christmas present, and he just knocks him over and goes, "Out of my way, box!" It's so fucking stupid.
I love the whole sequence with the bomb in the present. But he like sells it so perfectly, and then there is a bomb, and then he like it goes off, and you just have that shot of him, and he's just like, there are some sick people in this world, sick people.
Oh man, I should do a review of that actually.
Yes.
Sam Wallace Art says, my favorite pre-kill one-liner. You've got to have an opinion on this, Marvin. I mean, do you think that God came down and stopped the bullets?
Oh my god. I remember when I first saw it as a kid, I was fucking blown away, interested by that as just two hitmen types complete their job pretty easily. And on their way back, they fucking blow a guy's head off in the car by accident.
It's so
and
good.
Samuel Jackson's perfect in that scene. It's like, what the hell? Oh man, I shot Marvin in the face.
Yeah, he's like, what? Why the fuck did you shoot Marvin in the face? And he's like, well, I didn't mean to. It must have gone over a bump.
I ain't hit no motherfucking bump.
You remember later when they're like cleaning up the blood and like Travolta says to him, like, oh, I'm just saying, like, I'm kind of stressed out right now, and I'm like a race car that's in the red, and I'm just saying it's kind of dangerous to have a race car in the red. And that's when Samuel Jackson like explodes at him and is like, oh, you're a fucking race car? Well, I'm a mushroom cloud laying motherfucker.
Hey, there's a reason why that film is beloved.
Oh god, yeah, the dialogue is spot on. Don Quixote says, Drinker, you magnificent bastard, hail to the panel. Have any of you seen Black Rain, underappreciated Ridley Scott film with Michael Douglas? Why am I getting that confused with something else? A Christian Slater movie that had John Woo directing. Is that Heavy Rain or something? Anyway, Black Rain.
Game Heavy Rain.
Let's see what we got here. Yeah, so can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, sorry, I thought you'd faded out there. What does it say here? The film focuses on two NYPD detectives who arrest a member of the Yakuza and must escort him back to Japan. Once there, he escapes, and the two officers find themselves dragged deeper and deeper into the Japanese underworld. It's vaguely familiar, yeah. Oh, yeah, and it's got Kate Capshaw in it. Yeah. Damn.
All right.
I have to rewatch that, actually. Yeah, the poster for it looks amazing. Michael Douglas just trying to look like pure 80s badass. Never got the impression he was that kind of actor, but oh well. Crush Depth says, doesn't it seem odd that there are infected still moving around 28 years later? Like, wouldn't your ligaments and tendons be decayed to the point where your body couldn't move? Well, they're not zombies. They're not like walking corpses, but the first movie kind of pointed out that they're eventually going to starve to death because they almost can't feed themselves. Like, they're too enraged to even think about basic things like that. And then 28 weeks later it's only made possible because a character has like an immunity to it, but they're still a carrier. And then it starts a new outbreak. And then, yeah, I don't know what their rationale is going to be here. Maybe that like it's the virus has evolved and people aren't quite as filled with rage as they were before. Like they're not just mindless killing machines anymore.
Sure.
Okay. I was waiting for a little bit more there, but that's okay.
Ask me a specific question, and I will give you whatever you want.
So, I mean, if you were to make a prediction, what do you think is the setup for this? Do you think the infected even still exist as a viable thing, or is it almost like humans that have just gone tribalistic and they're like the new threat?
I've heard a lot of this speculation because from you and Gary and Az and stuff. I started to realize I need to rewatch the films because I'm not as familiar with them as I thought. Because I don't really have any speculation on exactly what the current state of affairs are. I would have gone in just basically being like, whatever you got, film. I wouldn't have thought, "Oh, I wonder how this plays in compared to what we'd seen before," because I realize now that I don't fully. What I remember from the films is not actually the state of the world, rather just the certain payoffs with certain characters in certain places. So, like I said, it's been a
Right.
while. I need to rewatch them so I can have like, I don't know, interesting speculation on it, I guess.
I mean, I will say between the two, I think there's actually a decent amount of like logical consistency and and continuity. So there is explanations provided as to why certain things happen, and hopefully it sticks to that. Hopefully it doesn't just contradict itself, and there's a good reason for all this. I would like
I'm
to think if it's
still-
taken 20 years to come up with this idea, then it's probably quite good.
Still mad that Brendan Gleeson got taken away from me because a crow dropped some blood in his eye. I was just like, man,
Yeah, that was unlucky.
it's not
Very
fair.
unlucky. Oh well. OMG Puppies says you might enjoy the Video Archive podcast. Quentin Tarantino and Roger Avery worked at a videotape rental store as teens, and years later, Quentin bought their inventory when they closed. That is pretty cool. Orca says, whoever recommended from last week needs to be put in timeout. Season 1 was okay, but the show was filled with bloat and convenience with barely any questions answered. Great ideas wasted over and over. So, yeah, when they say From, like literally just the TV show called From. So
Yeah, it's like I told you, I was very unimpressed with season 1, and from what I have seen of reviews of seasons 2 and 3, if there's not a 4th already, is that we're doing a lot. They said it felt like it had the DNA of Lost,
right.
which is not a good thing at this point.
New. Andre D, have you watched Netflix Scavengers Reign? Best sci-fi of 2024, in my opinion. I haven't, I'm afraid. Sorry. Jay Fraser, Mauler, do you have a favorite Star Trek TOS episode so far?
I think I settled on there's a handful of them. I'd have to like see. I don't think I made a list, and it's obviously I've only seen it through the once, so it's hard for me to remember episode names. So if you give me a second, I'll one of the ones that comes to mind is where I forget the name of it, but it's just where they get split into the two teams, where Spock is leading the away team and Kirk is having to delay leaving him, which will kill him, and that we get what it looks like to run a mission by essentially your feelings, your heart, what you believe to be true, and then what happens when you run a mission purely logical, and the ups and downs for both sides, and then how both of them are necessary. I just like how the episode comes together with its point about how necessary these two are and what they represent, and how they save each other with really good choices regarding those aspects of humanity. It's all very, very good. But then there's classic stuff like The City on the Edge of Forever. I enjoyed that quite a bit. Mirror Mirror was very good. Balance of Terror was excellent. There's what's the Doomsday Machine? I'm pretty sure I quite like that.
Yeah. Is that the one where it's like they almost have to outsmart it just by like overloading its logic, just by acting like complete lunatics, or is that a different one?
I can't remember because I like that one too. Now I can't remember if those the names of if those are the right names or not. But yeah, a lot of my picks would be ones you'd expect. So I don't think I had any unconventional ones.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's so funny how Balance of Terror is like so closely based on The Enemy Below. It's great. Like the one's the U-boat, one's the destroyer. And if you haven't seen The Enemy Below, it's actually a fucking brilliant war movie. Love that one. What is the next one? Mr. Tickle Trunk says, look up the Mr. In Between trailer. Slice of life dialogue, hitman with a code trying to balance life. Very short, but fantastic 3 seasons. I'm told many times over that it's a good show. Sam Wallace says, I like Dune Prophecy because it makes the Bene Gesserit flawed villains, calling out their hubris. The antagonist is a man's man swaying the Emperor against them and doesn't the show doesn't demonize his argument. It is slow, though. Holy shit, that's like a crazy idea that they would be critical of an all-female death cult. Whatever next. Daily Dose says, Fat Man 2020 is the best Christmas movie, hands down. Okay.
Fair enough.
Only Egon says, Friday the 13th, Jason Saves Christmas. Why not? It's about time he pitched in and helped out. Daffy Duck says, you should have asked what is the second best Christmas movie after Die Hard. By the way, watched Rogue Elements and I enjoyed it, but why did you die like a wuss? Well, because like I couldn't really like have a big fucking starring role in this in the movie. It's like, what can we do to put him on screen for a couple of seconds? Like, okay, he's a guy on a roof and then he gets shot in the head. Boom. Yeah. It was fun though. I got to fall over lots and lots of times when we did shot after shot. And funnily enough, it starts to hurt after a while. Mark Daly says, so what if Die Hard doesn't follow Christmas movie tropes? It's called subverting expectations. And that means Die Hard is not just a Christmas movie, but it's also fine art. Ooh. Exactly. Good take. Jay Fraser, Bullets and Blockbusters. World War Z video covers the original ending and the abandoned sequel, which was going to be directed by David Fincher. Fucking hell. Also, what's your zombie plans for both slow and fast? So how would I survive? I would lock myself in the local pub and wait for all of this to blow over, I would say. I guess slow ones, you're probably okay. You know, if you lock yourself in your house, they're probably not going to be able to get in.
And you need to get yourself a bicycle, right? That's like a key travel device if you're going to be on the move. They're like top tier for a post-apocalyptic survival because much easier to maintain than getting fuel.
You're going to need a sword as well, right? So if you've got like a katana or something, like you don't need to worry about conserving ammunition or whatever. As long as you've got some bit of strength in your arms, you can keep lopping heads off. And
certainly with the slow zombies, yeah. Fast zombies,
you're fucked. You're just going to die, basically.
I almost feel like I would want to get a stronghold of some kind with fast zombies and find a way to corral them into. There's only like one way into the place, and they have to go through something that has traps in it that can make them fall into like a hole with spikes, that sort of thing.
Well, you remember there is one bit I appreciated in The Walking Dead where the trash people, they all get like killed and infected with the virus and turned into zombies, and the leader just like leads them towards her, but like they have to walk over like a trash compactor, or like not even that.
Mm-hmm.
Those things that just grind up like pieces of metal and stuff, and they just kind of walk into it, and like it just turns them into mince, basically. And like that can just keep going all day long. So that's your ideal way to take care of them. Something like that. I appreciate it's not an easy thing to set up for the average person, but there you go.
Yeah.
Andrew Van Halen says, Die Hard is a Christmas movie as much as Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a Thanksgiving movie. Sam Wallace Art says, question, excluding Batman and Robin, any Christmas movie that isn't set on Christmas? Okay.
Christmas movies that are not set on Christmas.
What the fuck?
Is Batman Returns set on Christmas? I can't remember if there's a Christmas day in that. They probably. Oh no, wait. There's a Christmas tree. They must hit Christmas, like the actual day. Obviously, all the films I'm thinking of definitely have a Christmas day.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of films that I associate with Christmas, like.
Does Gremlins have a Christmas day in it?
It's round about Christmas because I'm sure there's snow in the first Gremlins movie.
A lot of these movies will have, because I'm thinking of like there's trees, there's snow, but do they actually get to Christmas Day? Is that the question, or is the question more so like not even the month, not even December?
Yeah, it depends how far they want to go. Because I mean, Where Eagles Dare, right? I associate that with Christmas, right? And it's got snow in it. So it could be around about Christmas. We don't know. We don't know what time of year it's set in, but there's loads of snow around, and I associate with watching it around Christmas time when I was a kid. So there you go.
There's a lot
Checkmate.
of movies that take place at Christmas but are not considered Christmas movies. And there's a list here I got. It says Godfather, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Goodfellas, Meaning of Life, Catch Me If You Can, Trading
can't-
Places, Life of Brian, Clueless, Step Brothers, Eyes Wide Shut, While You Were Sleeping, Gremlins, Batman Returns.
Some of them, right? Like Godfather set over a period of like 20 years, so you can't really narrow it down to fucking Christmas. I mean, I'm sure it has Christmas in it, but damn, man. Yeah, we're getting loose there. Last one is Accident Seller says, I feel that the Lord of the Rings trilogy are Christmas, New Year's Eve movies. Not only did they come out in December, the epic atmosphere, magical adventure setting lends itself to that cozy Yuletide mood. I mean, I would say they're fine to watch at any time of the year, but yeah, it was an interesting choice to release them in December.
It's kind of how I feel about Lord of the Rings, is that they transcend any particular. You could just watch them every day, all the time.
They transcend time itself.
Yes.
No, they're good stuff. But that was the last one there. That was the last of the super chats. So we want to say thank you for being so generous, for asking us so many questions and donating your hard-earned cash. So we appreciate all of you. And the next time we catch you will probably be for the last open bar of the year.
Oh my God. Are we doing the year of 2024 in that one? Or was it 2023?
Let's just skip to 2024. We'll do both. Because under normal circumstances, we would have had one more this year, but like none of us can be bothered doing it on December the 26th. Like I'm sure we've all got better things to do. So we'll skip that one and then just move on. I suppose like when we start it in January, we could do 2024 because then we'll have had
that almost makes more sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, we'll have a picture of the entire year then.
You'd be like, remember way back when last year?
It's like stuff we literally did.
Yeah.
When it comes to my facts of the year, I'm just going to highlight stuff that we said on the previous like open bar. Anyway, well, thank you guys. We appreciate you, and we'll catch you again next time. But that is all we've got for today. So go away now.
Bye.